Welcome to the Temple of Flame. On today, faithful acolytes, we take a look at this. And what this is from Cup Noodles, which is made by Nissin, or Nissin, as we like to say here. This is the stir fry. And so here's why I was interested. We have the fiery Korean chicken. Of course, I have done a lot of the so-called spicy chicken Korean noodles on this channel. There's an entire playlist of things like that as well. So there's tteokbokki in there, there's regular ramen, there's glass noodles, there's just all kinds of things in there, all around that theme. And we've got, so the cup noodles is known for having vegetable packaging. So there's corn, and it looks like maybe bok choy in there. Here's what interested me. We have 5 out of 6 peppers, which we'll put this near. Actually, let's see. We put this slightly over a 9. It's not obviously going to be that hot, but let's see if we can find what's actually hot in this. We've got canola oil, burning canola oil, which would literally make a fire nicely, but it's not going to introduce any heat. So dry green onions, dried corn, don't care about that. Onion flake. Hopefully that is all in the vegetable packet, or this could be a really short video. I am not seeing anything that would, oh, natural flavor, that's probably where it is. Okay, well, oh, so this is why I almost never get cup noodles. These are cheap, right? And they've always been cheap. And I'm sure they will always be cheap. But we can see there's a whole lot of stuff that I don't want to eat in there. And all of it is onions. So we're gonna sift through this here. And, oh man, that is unfortunate. That sucks. I mean, it's hard to give this a true measure without, without some of this. I'm going to try to preserve as much sauce as I can. I'm going to try to rake all the crap over to one side here, which I don't think is going to work very well, but so maybe what if I do this? Maybe if I can try to rake it a little bit, then we can just pick out the crap and make this actually edible for me. Because otherwise, it will not be. Okay. All right, so there's a lot of it. Let's do this. Let's try to filter it here. So I think maybe what we'll try to do here is, to very lightly just get it all on one side, at least to the extent possible. So we'll try to keep the powder on this side. Okay. This is the joy of food intolerances. So if I leave a lot of this in here, what happens is that I'm just not going to be able to eat it. I'm going to get a bite, maybe 2, and that will be, if that. And in fact, if you guys check out, so I did this product called I think it was Diablo Tteokbokki. And it wound up actually working well for the theme of the day I posted it, which was Halloween of 2024. Because it really was more of a trick. It's definitely not a treat. But that stuff was vile. And it was onion heavy to begin with. And I kind of, I kind of went for it anyway. And that was a no-go. Total non-starter. So we can see we're starting to get some of the stuff out of here now. Let's just take it. I just want this off the side entirely. And this is one of the reasons that actually there are chapters in the videos, so you can skip ahead the monotonous part if you, or a part that you don't find interesting or appealing. I know I certainly use that function with content sometimes when I'm watching it. Okay, we're getting a lot closer now to the end of this, I think. And that's always a question too, is if it's there, is it going to be enough to actually create issues for me? And so if I don't happen to notice it, which is very, very rare, almost never actually, but if I don't happen to notice it taste-wise, I will 100% notice it because I will get stomach cramps. Not like capsaicin cramps, like actual I need to go and it just basically cramps my entire midsection. Whereas cap cramps just are the sort of thing where it's generally in one specific area at a time. So like if it's in your stomach, you'll have your body will give you that sort of flush, like you're getting ready to puke. And sometimes people will. I don't do fresh pod contests or anything like that. So of all the challenges I've had on this channel, I have never actually thrown up from anything spicy, actually, ever. But again, I don't do pepper contests, so I'm not saying I have unusually high tolerance or anything like that. I mean, historically, I have had somewhat of a strong stomach where I almost it's very rare for me to ever throw up for any reason. Whether booze or really anything else. It's just kind of the way it's shaken out for me. Wait, with calf cramps, it'll just be like in my stomach, and then it'll resolve itself usually to my lower intestines, and then, I may or may not have a blowout afterwards, but almost never am I like I felt like I've come close a couple times, but I never have actually blown chunks from anything spicy, so. And who knows, maybe someday there'll come along a challenge and it'll feed me my biscuits and what have you, but this certainly won't do it. It does have it's a very powdery smell. It doesn't smell bad though. So I think we got most of the crap out of it. How long am I supposed to cook this? Okay, so cook, oh well, you want 4 minutes, huh? Okay, so we're gonna do the standard cook for 4 minutes, and we will cook for 4, let it sit for 5, and we will be back. Okay, and we are back. Now, they made a big deal on their website, going on and on about how this isn't ramen, it's stir fry. And I don't know what galaxy that is, but it is not. but it is not in this one. This is, why are we calling this, why are we calling it's ramen? It's ramen, and it looks cheap. And cup noodles, I haven't had one of these in a really long time, and it'll probably be a really long time before I have another one. But you never know. I guess I could always be impressed. So let's get into it. I don't know if you can see this, but steam is just banging off of this. Well, it is no bulldog. It does, so there's an immediate heat here, kind of a low one, probably the extract. I mean, it's not horrible, not very good either. I wouldn't get it again, but like, I get what they're going for. I just don't, why are we calling this stir fry? I don't get it. This is basically the same as all their other instant ramen nonsense. Just baffling to me. Like I said, it's not awful. Or anything like that. I mean, it's so far it's very edible. After I removed all the awful bits. So if you want to have something that is basically, at least in tone, similar to the spicy Korean stuff, you really, I think, are better off with the Firewalk line. Lucky for you, all of them have been reviewed and live in the Spicy Noodles playlist, where this one will be as well. And a lot of those aren't great either. The sauce is a bit grainy, and I assume that's just the powdery version, the nature of it. You know, you don't really save any money buying this little cup either. So to me, I don't see why. I don't see why. I was expecting something a lot different. Like, way different. And instead we had just kind of the mediocre. It's almost like they said, what's the worst way of doing this? And then they kind of did that. I mean, it wasn't inedible. There is a slight amount of mouth heat. I'll give it a default one. Certainly not a legit one by any stretch. And I think they had a creamy. I always get them confused with the Maruchan instant lunch. So they had the cup noodles. Maruchan had the instant lunch, but they were all like identically packaged. And one of them had like a creamy chicken one that was okay. But I think that's the only sort of small size version of this that I actually liked. I can't say I like this one. It wasn't bad, but I have had worse ramen, way worse instant ramen before in the past. So, I don't know why this exists. It just seems like a worse version of stuff that's already in their line. And why? I don't know. I don't get it. So I guess that's where I'll kind of leave it. It's a bit unnecessary by my lights. It's like I said, it's okay. It's probably not one of my favorites. Certainly, probably towards the bottom of all the noodles I've had on this channel. Both in terms of heat, I would say, and flavor as well. But I wouldn't call it actually bad. It's just underwhelming. There you go. It is underwhelming. And we'll just leave it right there. So that was the Nissin Cup of Noodles Fiery Korean Chicken Flavored Stir Fry. But not really. It's just ramen. Now go forth in peace to serve the flame.